Hello, nice to finally meet you, Jacob.
Nice to meet you too, Miss Palmer. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
It's been a good day. Just kind of getting out of the office for a little while and into another one. But I mean, it's all fine with me.
I totally understand. It's been interesting recovering from Thanksgiving festivities.
Oh yeah, being able to kind of go home and see. I have a lot of family, and so we're coming from literally all parts of the United States. And just have parts all over the place. But yeah, we're just coming all over the place and getting together, and it's a really fun time. Other than Christmas, so. But
Of course, yeah. Sorry.
sorry. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great. I'm originally from the Houston area,
Okay.
so I went back down to see my parents and some other family, and it was, kind of a small gathering because I don't have a lot of family here. But it was so nice. Where are you based out of?
Well, I'm from El Paso, Texas, and
Okay.
we basically all of our family, well, a good chunk is from Texas, so we have all of them coming to El Paso, and we all have a good time at Thanksgiving. We have to make a lot of food. It seems like every time somebody's getting married, and we have to add a whole new another part of the family to come in, and but it was great. We had a lot of people there, so it was really nice.
That does sound nice. It gets hard once you graduate from school and you have a real job, which, I've been finding out recently because I haven't been graduated from tech for that long, and it gets hard, not being able to see family as much.
I graduated from Tech. That's really
Oh,
cool.
really? Wow. What year were you?
I was 1996.
Oh, okay. I was 98.
Okay, well, that's really good.
Yeah. What was your major in?
I was initially marketing, but I definitely kind of branched out a long way from there. So that's really cool.
Wow. Do you still keep up with football at all?
Oh, definitely. Just watched the UT-TTU game for a while. I thought it was really cool. I did not expect that kind of ending to happen.
Oh, I know. Honestly, I don't expect much out of our team, especially while I was going to school. I would always go to the games and I would always be disappointed, but it's worth it for the atmosphere.
Mhm.
But, I just wish that, we would do better, and
I mean, like the way I saw it is that like it was kind of necessary for that kind of game plan.
oh yeah, totally.
I mean, I feel like I just told one of my friends, Mohammed, about this, but like basically, uh, we put in that quarterback, that sophomore one, so he could get some experience, and then I know that it was kind of not even kind of very bad for to have him do that, but it was worth the experience, and then putting in that senior quarterback, Nick Shimanek, who's a very great quarterback, and to kind of not sweep everything up, but um, kind of improve on what was going on because the defense was great, but the offense could needed that little boost more, that longevity. And Nick Shemnick being put in, I definitely felt that changed the game completely.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that was just an incredible ending, honestly.
Mm.
Um, I'm not much of a sports person, and really, I only follow tech because I'm an alumni.
Mhm.
But it's games like that that really pique my interest in it.
Oh yeah, same here. I only watch the Tech football team just because alumni, watching them all the time. It makes me happy. It makes me think of that time in college where like being that whole experience was great. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a great time. I understand. Going to football games when I really should have been studying,
Mhm.
but it
Well,
all works out in the
if you're
end.
not really into football, like, what else do you do?
Oh, I like to do a lot of hiking.
Oh, okay.
Being in the Austin area as this office is,
Mhm.
there's so many different parks and events that my husband and I used to, go to a lot. And, I just love doing outdoorsy things, but at the same time, there's just that part of me that grew up with, a GameCube and the
Okay.
original Xbox. And so, I really just love to sometimes just stay in and, break out my games a little bit, as, as childish as that may seem.
Oh no, that's definitely not child. I do it all the time. I kind of around the like kind of after I graduated college, I still played video games. I still
Yeah.
played Nintendo 64, Xbox, PlayStation. Though in recent years, my kids have been kind of getting me to get on the computer because it looks a lot better. So I'm more of a PC gamer now.
Oh yeah, definitely. My kids have shown me the light,
Mm.
I guess, with PC gaming,
Mhm.
and I'm really grateful for that. And we all have our little battle station set up, and sometimes they'll let me play with them, and it makes it's really fun.
Mhm. Well, what games do you play?
I play some Overwatch.
Okay.
I also play a lot of Dota 2. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've heard that. I've never played Dota 2. Well, what is that game like? Is it like World of Warcraft? Is it whatever?
Have you ever played League of Legends?
I haven't played it, but I've seen it a million times. Like just
It's,
people playing it.
in my opinion, it's a superior version of League of Legends.
Okay.
I also, um, I also play a lot of sort of single player games like the Witcher series.
Okay.
My kids introduced it to me, and
Really?
I have not been able to stop playing it. And Dark Souls, also a big fan.
I heard that Dark Souls is a very difficult playing game. I might be old and everything. Dark Souls, I've heard, is a very, very difficult game, and it's not very easy to get past.
Oh, it's very hard. Sometimes during the weekends when I tell myself I'm gonna get some work done, I'm just gonna play, a couple of hours of Dark Souls, and I'll spend the whole day, stuck on this one boss or something. And my kids always make fun of me because I'm old and bad at the game, but I find it fun.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a big multiplayer game person. I'll play like one game, mostly kind of geared towards horror. That's for some reason my kids like that. They told me about the game, Dead by Daylight.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's You shouldn't let your kids play that, but it's really entertaining. The goal of the whole thing is to turn on some engines or motors of some kind before the person like, gets you.
Mhm.
And I'm playing this, and I'm playing one of the people trying to turn on the motors, and I have one of my kids. I have quadruplets, by the way.
Wow.
And so all five of us are kind of playing,
Mhm.
and it's one of them is always like laughing like a madman, trying to and it's kind of scary. I'm wondering, okay, what's going on here? Maybe we should stop playing this game for a while. But it's it's just something to kind of get us all together. And
Yeah.
no, like I'm not as involved in sports, but like I have two that are. One that kind of is, and then the other one's just all video games and all, making sure that I don't want to call him a nerd, but he's a very smart kid for his
How old
age.
are your quadruplets?
Well, technically, like they're all 6, about to turn 7, and for some reason they're advanced for their age. It's strange.
Probably all that gaming you'll do.
Yeah, definitely not.
Actually, my youngest is about to turn 8. So
Okay.
Right about that age. My husband always he doesn't do a lot of this gaming stuff because he works at a computer sort of all the time, so he doesn't really understand when we all play together. But I think it's good bonding.
Oh yeah.
Do a little multiplayer, and we learn how to work together, and they'll usually make fun of me for being worse at the game than them, but it's all in good fun.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, do you do anything else other than the video games and like Texas Tech football?
Well, usually during Christmas time, my family and I will make a trip to the UK to visit, Grandpa and his family, because that's where they're from.
Right.
So that's always fun. Do you travel? Do you travel a lot?
I do travel a lot. I own my own hotel chain, Slump Towers.
Oh, very nice hotels. I've stayed at them a few times.
Oh, you don't have to be biased. It's okay. But yeah, it's mostly over the West Coast, of course. I don't want to be all over the place and have to like travel way too far away from my family, of course. But the headquarters is based out of El Paso, Texas. That's where I'm primarily there most of the time. But if I'm not there, I'm usually in like New Mexico, Arizona, sometimes Colorado. We just opened up a hotel right there in Denver, and kind of the rest is in Colorado.
Oh wow, how
Not,
long?
or California, sorry.
No problem. How long have you had this chain of hotels? What started you?
It was really strange because around 2005, 2006, my brother got to me or just talked to me and said, hey, I have an opportunity to kind of um, buy out this hotel chain. It was a minor one at first in El Paso. Do you want to get in on it and do you want to kind of be involved? I didn't have a job at the time. My family was just kind of small and we weren't really doing very well. So I said, oh yeah, sure, why not? It was like, I don't think anybody else should do that. It was the riskiest investment I've ever taken, but it it worked. And so, my brother and I both kind of, I say me, but I shared the ownership with my brother, and we're getting along better than ever because like
Wow.
he handles one side of it, I handle the other side. We meet up, talk, discuss, and it works.
Wow, that's incredible that y'all, get along so well with running the business. Actually, my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law own a tailor
Okay.
together, and I always just hear about them fighting about expenses and finances, and it's sad because they're family, but I always hear about how owning a business can either sort of bring family together or cause issues, and I'm really happy to hear that this hotel chain has been really good for you and your brother.
Oh well, and don't get me wrong, there are definitely some discrepancies sometimes, but overall, I have to bring my wife along with me, just because I don't want her to be mad at me just because when I'm traveling, and we'll take the kids sometimes too, or else we'll leave them with my grandma or my mom too, and we'll just kind of go over there. I want her to be with me as much as possible. She's a cancer survivor, so.
Oh wow.
So it means a lot to me to have her with me, and I'm more enjoyable when she's around because she has me at ease, and I don't really argue as much with my brother, anyways. But the arguing is already like at a zero when she's there too. So.
Yeah. How long has your wife been in remission?
She just got into remission last year,
Oh,
so it's
that's good for her. That's wonderful.
it was really a scary thing, but I mean that's kind of one of the reasons why I came to talk to you about that kind of situation. But yeah, once she got out of it, I was like the happiest person in the world, and yeah, I'm just really happy.
Yeah, I'm sure. How long have y'all been married?
Since 2008. No, 2006. Sorry, 2006, 2006, 2006, 2006.
Oh, wow, that I'm really happy for her, and I'm happy for you that she's doing all right, and beating cancer is a really wonderful thing.
It's something that's kind of hit me a little bit too because I've had past family members and even family friends that have been so close have been stricken with cancer, and though like they have it, like it's amazing to see like their fight. They're still wanting to. They have that headset, that mind that like they'll push through it, and that's kind of what's inspired me to push through. Because like if they can handle something like that, not like throw fits,
Yeah.
and like be able to push it out, like why can't I do what I want to do? And so I use that as a way to push myself to get to where I want. So,
Yeah, I mean that's I'll tell you a little something while we're on the subject. I actually I have I've had melanoma
oh wow.
a few times, and even though it's not sort of as serious as other cancers because they can just remove the cancer, and usually it's nothing comes of that if it's early. It still really makes you think, especially someone as young as your wife is, or it really just makes you appreciate life and everything that comes with it, the good and the bad, and especially once you're out of it. And I hope that you and your wife are doing well through all that struggle.
Yeah, that's mostly what it's about though. But yeah, she's happy, I'm happy, and the kids are just being the kids. So.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, having 4 children, I mean, that's,
Oh yeah, we're
was,
not having anymore.
I mean, was that totally unexpected?
Kind of a little bit, because my family has had a history of twins, not as frequently, but her side of the family has had more frequencies with twins, and so we were like expecting twins and kind of financially prepared for them, but then it was all quadruplets, and we were just kind of dumbfounded. I think I passed out a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, nothing prepares you for that many at once.
no, but they're all good.
Oh, that's good.
They get along sometimes, but yeah, but it's just kind of like a good feeling to have that many kids because they're always looking out for each other. Don't get me wrong, there's the fights. Sometimes like they'll like have like little debates over like, okay, well this is wrong or you're wrong. It's kind of entertaining to watch, but then it starts getting physical and I have to like break in and separate them.
Oh, yeah, of course. I can't even imagine. I only have 2. And, the oldest is about 10. So, she's starting to, reach a more mature stage, and she can usually handle arguments with her younger brother without bringing me into it, finally.
Yeah.
But are they all, boys or girls? Or
3 boys and 1 girl.
Oh, wow, okay.
So like it's always like the 3 boys are always looking out for the sister usually.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Or either that or just like making fun of her. But that's when I usually step in and make sure that nothing else happens.
Yeah, wow. So does your wife stay home and look after them, or does she have her own job?
She's kind of in between jobs. Of course, she just got off her mission, and she's a very strong, independent person, and that's kind of like that's why I love her and everything. But right now, I just say like take as much time as you want. If you don't, you're not pressured to do anything, of course.
Yeah.
And like it's just I'm happy that she's there, and that's my main focus, and of course, and yeah, I think like all of us are just extremely happy where we are right now.
Oh, yeah, of course. I can imagine. That's great to hear that she's in remission. Hopefully it stays that way.
Oh yeah, I plan for it too. But ever since then, I've been kind of light on the travel and more staying, especially when she was going through chemo and everything, just kind of staying with her. And I had almost a span of about like a year and a half where I didn't travel. I just did everything based out of either the house or the headquarters of the hotel. And then I didn't go out. I made sure that like she was looked after. I made sure that the kids were okay, and they didn't really like because they're kind of at a young age where they don't understand
Yeah.
why mommy's not being able to do some stuff as she once was, but um, they don't really understand that kind of fact yet, though. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. And luckily, most of your travel seems to be, pretty close by as far as, staying in one part of the country. So if you did need to come back home, you'd be able to. So, anyway, it's been really nice, getting to know you and just, having a nice chat with you. But, obviously, you're here for some, advice, or, we should definitely get some work done in the first visit.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about, what brought you in here today.
So, kind of like I mentioned before, my wife is a cancer survivor. She's in remission right now. But the thing that we talked about, and of course she can't be here, is she's with I can't remember what she called it, a cancer support group kind of, and those are the individuals that she's been kind of with every time at around a certain time of the day. But what I've been kind of talking to her about is, okay, well, what if this happens again? Because, and it's been a good talk. It hasn't been like very emotional,
Yeah.
but like her side of the family has had it like to where you get cancer once, there's still the possibility of cancer again, and most likely happens. And so, in one form or another, of course, but that's where I kind of want to talk about because last time the medical expenses really dug a hole in our pockets, and I got really scared. I didn't know if I mean, I have a hotel chain, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to pay for those expenses. And again, it tore a hole out of my pocket, but I was able to, or we were able to pay for a majority of it, if not all. So, kind of dealing with the medical expenses, how can I prepare for such an expense like that, like in case a round two happens?
Okay, one question, do you still have any debt from the first round of treatments that she was in?
I think we have around 4 or 5 thousand left to pay.
Okay,
The insurance for some reason would not cover. It only covered about like $10,000 worth. And of course, with all the expenses regarding chemo,
mm-hmm,
everything else, it's a lot more expensive than
yeah,
$10,000.
yeah, of course. Okay, so, first, I think we should work out a plan to get that taken care of, so that, that debt isn't hanging over your shoulders, and, while we're doing that, we can also, start to prepare a, have a little extra savings, just in case that happens, because, obviously, since it runs in the family, since, now she's in remission, so she's a cancer survivor, and
Mhm.
so, as unfortunate as it is, the chance that it could come back, is there.
Mhm.
So I agree, I definitely think that, we should build a plan to prepare for it. Um, so definitely for our next visit, I'd like some records of, your incomes and, what's coming into the household,
Mhm.
and as well as, what's leaving you. Do you have a mortgage?
We have a little. I don't know the exact number right now, but
Mhm,
I'm
of
pretty
course.
sure we still have a remaining balance of to still pay it off.
Okay, yeah, so, mortgages, car loans, things like that, just so that, we can get an idea of, how much money is coming in every month, how much money is going out every month,
Mhm.
and with whatever's left, then we can decide, where that's going to go, whether it is into a fund for, um, it's like kind of a rainy day fund for her,
Okay.
and have you and your wife talked about, preparing for college for the children? I know they're still pretty young, but, it's definitely something that, I recommend to think about,
Mhm.
because, as I'm sure you know, they grow up, in the blink of an eye.
Right.
So have you and your wife talked about it at all?
A little bit. I mean,
Mhm.
when I went to college, all I did was take out a bunch of student loans.
Mhm.
Of course, I paid that off, but it's something that I don't know what the kids will end up wanting to do.
Yeah.
So I've heard of 529 plans a little bit. I haven't looked at them to be honest. Neither has my wife, but I know that I don't want them to have to pay for college the whole time. I mean, of course, I plan for them to get a job in high school and just kind of learn that lay of the
Yeah.
land and be able to have some sort of responsibility and understand stuff like because I didn't have that. I won't say luxury, but the responsibility came a little bit late for me, and I don't want them to have to earn it or understand it later.
Okay. Well, that's also something that we can talk about. There are lots of different plan types, including 529s, that can, help offset costs of college, so that, they aren't taking out, entirely student loans, or, they don't have to, work their butts off at another job during college to help pay for things. So that's, also something that we can look at. And so since there's four of them,
Yeah, it's a
that's,
lot of money.
yes. So definitely starting early would be, a good idea. And luckily with 529 plans, the way that it's set up, you will end up, you will end up with a pretty sizable amount, once they go to college if you start now. And then there's, obviously, of course, scholarships and other things that they could do while they're in high school, but, that's that's not something that you can really worry about now.
Right.
So, that's something to discuss with your wife, and hopefully, at our next meeting, she can be present because I think a lot of these things should be done, should be a joint decision.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, again, like she had her like little, not little, her support group to go to, and of course I'm not gonna ask her just kind of leave
oh,
that.
no, of course not.
But I'll get with her, talk to her, and see what times we can do it, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, of
Because
course.
I know that her schedule changes all the time as well as mine. So if we could do that, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah, certainly. My schedule is very flexible.
Mhm.
Um, so, we'll definitely be in touch, and whenever kind of a range when both of you will be available, just let me know, and we can definitely work something out.
Okay.
Because talking to you is great, but, obviously that's just one half
Yeah.
of this picture. And, I definitely would feel more comfortable with both of you. Just in case there are any disagreements, or if she has an idea of something that she wants to do.
Of course.
Um, so is there anything else
I honestly don't think
that's on
there's
your mind?
anything else. Just for right now, that's kind of been on my mind. Um, Thank you for talking to me about this too.
Oh yeah, no problem. And about your medical expenses and stuff, we, I can definitely talk to some people, once I have more sort of information about your insurance. I know some people that are, in the insurance business, and, we might be able to find an insurance plan that, works better with her, and, the possibility of that happening again, them being able to cover more,
Mhm.
without, your premiums
Okay.
being too much higher. So that's definitely something that we can talk about in subsequent meetings as well.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for coming to see me, and it's been a pleasure to meet you, and I look forward to our next meeting.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.